All right, so this is Sarthe's video that came out yesterday, and he has put together a really detailed, comprehensive video talking about some of the most min-max, hyper-efficient ways to prepare for Phase 2. We talked about this a little bit a couple days ago, but this, I think, is going to be really in detail. Let's get into this.
What are the things you can do right now to be prepared for Phase 2? Because it was just announced to be coming on February 8th, and there's a lot of ways you can utilize your time right now to set your characters up for success.
We've got about 3.5 weeks. So if you care about this, you've still got lots of time.
As soon as the new phase launches, not only for leveling up to level 40 and 40 content, including the raid, but also to have enough gold or consumables or anything you need to be prepared for the next phase. So today we're going to break down everything you need to know, from the most simple tips to the most try-hard tips, to make sure you're absolutely prepared for Phase 2. Now, the first and probably most obvious thing is to start pre-questing. Pre-questing has been a thing every single time there's been a level cap increase in.
As we go through this, there's like some different bullet points here. We're going to talk about each of these points, but I'm also going to talk about what are the odds you're actually able to do some of these things, because there are certain ways that you could conceivably prepare for Phase 2 right now that Blizzard might just they will just shut them down. Like, so maybe. So by the way, let's on that notion, let's start here. Pre-questing. Are you going to be able to have 20 quests completed in your log, or is Blizzard going to shut that down? You will be able to do that 100%. You've been able to do that every single time. I mean, always for the last 19 years of World of Warcraft. That's something people do for every single new expansion, or every single new version of Classic WoW. People always do this. Now, on an individual level, you might not be able to do it. In fact, I'm not even able to do this on my level 25 character because I've already done pretty much every quest in the game. So if you're a level 25 right now and you have done almost all of the quests in an effort to get gold or farm gold, or maybe you did them all while you were leveling from 23 to 25, you kind of banged all of them out, you're not going to have a lot of quests you're able to play with. Now, I actually know people that have leveled new characters for the sole purpose of having quests ready to go. So they leveled a new character without doing any quests. Maybe they mob grinded or dungeon grinded just so that they would have an entire docket of quests ready to go for day one of Phase 2. That is really sweaty.
World of Warcraft. And what it is essentially is filling up your entire quest log with 20 quests that you can turn in very quickly to be able to set yourself up to be at a higher level and basically enter into whatever the next content is. This is the fastest way to get started in Phase 2, and if done correctly, you can get all the way up to level 28 or even 29 within the very first hour of Phase 2 launch.
Oh my God. You're going to have people that are going from level 25 to 29 within 1 hour.
If you have done this perfectly.
With all these pre-quests.
Now, I'm currently working on routing guides for both Horde and Alliance to be able to get you all the way up.
So he's talking a donation of wool cloth. And by the way, this is not just 20 quests. This is a bunch of turn-ins. It's silk cloth. It's wool cloth. It's a bunch. You know how you can pick up quest items off of monsters sometimes, and then you right-click the item in your bags, and then it gives you a quest? So you can have 20 quests completed in your log, plus you can have 20 more right-click quest items in your bags ready to go, and then you just turn them in immediately. You're having people do that. It's going to be crazy. It's a lot.
To 28, so those videos will be out soon, but there's a ton of other videos out already that have everyone's individualized and personalized quest stacks. But on top of filling out your entire quest log with quests themselves and planning out your route for turning in those quests, you can also make sure to pick up some of the quest items that you can loot around the world that can just sit inside your bank, and you can just take them out the day before Phase 2 launch and be able to just accept the quest and turn them in right away. And if you've already done all your
Okay, I'm gonna be real here for a second. I don't care enough to do that. Chat, are you with me? Give me a true if you do not care enough to do that. Like, I understand you can do that. I know you can do it. No hate on the people that do. I'm not gonna fucking do that, man. Like, I just don't care.
Your quest for gold, don't worry. Blizzard has already stated that there will be alternatives to being able to quest in any of these zones. So if you've already done all of your quests, don't worry. But if you haven't...
To say this again, for all the people that didn't hear it, Josh Greenfield, who is he's the big Classic WoW developer guy who's in all the interviews and posting on Twitter all day. he has said that they are going to be adding some new leveling functionalities. And we don't even know what those are. But if you're like, oh man, what am I already did all my quests. Am I going to have to dungeon grind? I don't know. I already did everything else. They're going to add new stuff to help you level. What is it going to be? I don't know. But okay, there you go.
So if you've already done all of your quests, don't
There
worry.
you go.
But if you haven't, definitely start looking into a quest stack. And even if you're only quest stacking on your main character, if you want to be prepared for level 40 and want to play any of the other classes, then make sure to take the time that we have now, because we have an extra month, to just level up your alts. Leveling up your alts now puts you in a very solid position to be able to easily level them up to 40 in the earlier stages of phase 2. This means you'll actually be able to play any of the classes you want in phase 2 if you haven't already gotten them leveled. And on that note, definitely make sure they have their professions leveled up. It's very cheap to do all of them from the auction house, and you should be planning ahead for phase 2 because professions.
This is my speculation. I think that engineering is going to be a big profession going into phase 2. Why engineering? Okay, the raid is No Muragon. No Muragon, guess what? It's engineering. It's kind of, that's the theme. And so I would bet that there's a bunch of new engineering items. That's my guess. I bet that there will be new engineering items. So if you, and this is total speculation. I don't know. This is just what's in my brain. I would guess, if I'm right, that engineering mats are going to be worth a lot, or at least they're going to go up in price. So if you believe me, if you're like me, if you have the same mindset as me, I would probably level engineering now. I would do it sooner rather than later.
Will most likely be incredibly important in phase 2. As we all know, we got the new epic gear from our main professions this phase, and we can bet that we'll probably have something like that every single subsequent phase. This means that if you want to get that epic gear at level 40, then you might as well already start stocking up on materials to level up your professions all the way up to 225. And that's because we can bet that 225 will be the level cap. I think everyone has come to a general consensus.
Yeah, that's probably true. Keep in mind, by the way, so even though professions are capped at 150 right now, you can farm items, you can farm mats at 150 that could reasonably get you up to 170 or maybe even 180. Like, you can start stockpiling those crafting mats, right? Just to have them ready to go.
That 225 will be the cap, and you can actually get all of the materials right now to be able to level those up instantly as soon as the phase hits.
Wow.
And if you don't have it already, you might as well level up a profession alt, mainly an enchanting alt.
Wait a minute, real quick. Let me just process this. If we think 225 is going to be profession cap at level 40 and 300 is profession cap at level 60, then the level 50 meta is going to be somewhere between 225 and 300. So I guess we would think that at level 50, we might be capped at like 260 or 265? Something? I don't know. Or maybe they're going to let us be 300 at 50. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do?
What this is just get a character to level 5, and then every time you find a green that's not worthy of selling on the auction house, you just send it over to this alt, and it can disenchant it. There is no level requirement in Classic to be able to disenchant things. All you need to do is...
I think that's not true. I think you need to be level 5. Chad, is that true? I think you need to be level 5 in order to disenchant items. Your character level must be 5. Yep, okay. Got him. I got him. Aha, I got him.
Just have the profession enchanting.
Oh, he said that? Okay, never mind. He said that. Okay, never mind. He said that. My bad.
You will have permanent and infinite mats to enchant your gear as you get upgrades in phase 2. True. You probably noticed the staggering difference of having a fully geared out raid character and having a freshly dinged level 25. That's because some of the gear from the BFD raid is so good that it would actually be pre-best in slot at level.
Look at that. Rod of the Ancient Sleepwalker, which drops inside of the raid right now, is better than Staff of Jordan, which people will often wear all the way up to 60. Anytime I level a caster, I just wear the Staff of Jordan. I buy it once I'm 35, and I wear it all the way up to 60. If you have the Rod of Ancient Sleepwalker, this is a good weapon. It's not a bad weapon.
60.
It's really
you would
not.
even use them into Molten Core and a little bit beyond. So having this gear more than doubles your damage and survivability, meaning that you will also level up twice as fast because you do twice the amount of damage. And with that being said, you can also...
Ooh, this thing is so good. The Ajari Ableist.
So pre-plan out some of the gear
good.
you're going to get on your leveling process. So take a look at your class and maybe take a look at the auction house and kind of grab some cheap gear that will absolutely help you level up faster. Because having more gear just naturally translates
gear
to content
equals good.
easier and
That's
you
true.
moving faster in the leveling process. Now, if you're not in the mood to do some sort of grind right now, you kind of want to sit back, relax, and do something that does actually help you move forward in.
See this comment? This is way too much planning. I'm just going to log in and level. Everyone. Based. This here is very based. Excellent. Keep it up.
In the next phase, then you might as well just run around the world and get any of the flight paths that you will need in phase 2. These are things like the Desolis or Teneris flight paths that are way out of the way, but they're really easy to just kind of get done right now and will save you ridiculous amounts of.
Have you guys done this? You can spend a couple hours just running around, dying a million times while picking up like higher level flight paths. I haven't done this. I should I should probably do this. I'll do that.
Time in the next phase.
Yeah,
because when
I
it's
should
time
do that.
or your guide tells you to head to that zone, you can just fly there instead of having
That's
to run
decent.
all the way there again. And on that note, if you want to make things easy, I always suggest having a leveling guide. And my favorite one is, of course, the Rested XP guide. If you aren't using it,
I'm going to
already,
use
the
promo
guide is
code
completely
Sarthe for a
free up to level
discount.
20, so it's really nice to be able to check it out. But this guide will just give you an arrow and tell you exactly where to go for all of your quests. You
Hell
can
yeah.
also make sure that it includes going to some of the dungeons on your questing route to get you to level
yeah.
40 as fast as possible. It's also been updated for Season of Discovery to be able to show you exactly where to.
Okay, I have never. What? Okay, I've never used RXP. I've never used it. My wife has used it. I've never used it myself. What am I looking at here? This add-on is crazy, dude. What is this? Nomuragon 30 36. It like shows all the profession stuff you can get from it, or what? I don't know.
Runes that you're looking for. So not only will it tell you in-game exactly where to find those runes, but it'll also give you a suggested level of the content to be able to unlock that rune. And this can of course vary between your leveling routes. Some runes can be unlocked at lower levels for specific races and higher levels for any of the other races. So it's easy to know and perfect to have just all in one place to just click on it and have it send you an arrow and give you a written guide in game exactly where to find your runes or where to go to level up next. And of course, you know by now the full guide does cost money, and there's a discount code, of course, in the description, but it honestly is just so well done. And if you get it once, you will have it updated for the entirety of Season of Discovery. They are going to be consistently updating.
Okay, I have a question. Those of you that bought Rested XP like 2 years ago, did you have to buy it again to get the updated SOD package? How were they charging for that? I have no idea. You had to buy the SOD pack? Okay.
It for every single phase to make sure that you have the fastest leveling route possible and to make sure that you never miss a rune. And what about some of the things
It
you
seems
can do
good.
right
I just
now
haven't used
so that
it.
right as you hit level 40, you can unlock new runes as well as have some best in slot gear right away. And that, of course, would be reputations. Now, starting with gear in particular, if you get to Exalted with the Warsong Gulch reputation, which takes a long time if you don't have premates, then you will be able to unlock some best in slot bracers right at level 40. And of course, on your way to Exalted, you unlock things like necklaces, rings, and
Okay, so here's the deal. Getting to Exalted with the Warsong boys. Let me show you something here. Dungeons and raids. This is fat. No, I think I'm okay. It's in the PvP section. PvP. Check it out. Warsong Gulch. Not only do you get epic bracers at level 40, you also get epic bracers at level 50. And epic bracers at level 60, and epic pants at level 60. Okay, so if you have the time, if you're a turbo nerd, I haven't done this yet. I'm 15,000 rep away still from Exalted. If you have the time, it's like probably pretty worth it because what are the level cap metas? 40, 50, 60. It lines up pretty well. You got but it is possible that in the new raids they're adding, so it's possible in Nomuragon raid, it will drop loot that is better than these bracers. You might replace the bracers. Well, then still you're farming Prebis. And who knows if/when you're going to get the bracers from the raid. Who knows? They might not drop. You might not win the roll. Whatever. You have to buy it in a GDKP, whatever you're doing. So it's probably a good time investment. It's probably good. It is probably good. So that means go farm Warsong Gulch is what that means. And to be very clear with you guys, you can use the Ashenvale PvP event all the way up to Revered. Once you're Revered, you don't get rep from Ashenvale anymore. You have to do Warsong Gulch. It's the only way. From Revered to Exalted, it has to be Warsong Gulch.
And cloaks, which will all have upgrades at the next level cap. So prepare for level 40 to instantly get some new rings, a new necklace, and a new cloak from this reputation. Now, if PvP is...
Just hold up real quick. You get 1,000 rep per week from the turn-in. Oh, you mean the turn-in that gives you the drums buff? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah? Oh. Ooh. Okay. So from the Ashenvale event, you can get 1,000 rep per week. Well, I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, all right. I should do that. I'm going to go do that.
Isn't your favorite way to play the game. You don't want to fight against a ton of wind serpents, unkillable priests, or pre-mades, and you just want to grind a very simple and relaxing rotation, then the next one you should focus on is the Waylaid Supplies. Every single class unlocks a rune from the Waylaid Supply vendor, and we most likely will have a new rune at every single level cap at the next
Honored,
level
Revered,
of
Exalted,
This means I would get ready to farm all the way up to Honored with the Waylaid Supplies vendor.
Honored is the cap right now. You actually cannot go beyond Honored. So if you remember when SOD came out, what, 5 or 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago? I don't know how long it's been. The rune you got from the Waylaid Supplies actually was at Honored. And then people complained about it. Okay, I get it. And then Blizzard actually nerfed it down to friendly. I don't know why I can't find it. Anyway, and so now it's it's this Duratar Supply. So I got this up to Honored, and then 4 or 5 days later they nerfed the reward down to friendly. Okay, so maybe if you're Honored right now, maybe you're already good. Maybe you're already high enough rep to get the rune at level 40. Maybe you're already pre-farmed. Who knows?
Or get it
Honored
done
is
right
maxed.
now so you can already unlock the rune right as we start phase 2.
Yeah,
but if you're going to prepare for this, then you might as well actually not turn in all of these supplies just yet to get the reputation, because we don't know, and Blizzard has hinted that the Waylaid Supplies might give extra reputation moving into phase 2 to help subsidize people that actually did all of their quests already. And this would mean turning in a full inventory of the supplies to get a ton of reputation will not only help you out in getting your next rune, but it could even level you up once or twice right as phase 2 drops. But again, this is purely speculation, and I wouldn't bank on it being a very good way for you to level, but just know that it might be a significant amount of XP turning all of these in right as phase.
Listen, guys, Blizzard needs to make it so we can carry multiple boxes at once. This whole one box thing is very annoying. Let me farm up 20 boxes at once and then go turn them all in, okay? Let me do that. Let's do that.
Phase 2 drops.
That's what we all want.
If you farmed reputation with Warsong Gulch or Ashenvale, whatever it is, you probably also have already gotten rank 2, at least in the PvP system. But make sure to at least grab rank 3 on your main character, because not only will there be new gear in the next phase that will probably be your pre-best in slot or best in slot, but phase 2 will also unlock some higher ranks of the PvP system.
Okay, so let me think about this. Level 25 is rank 3. Oh, you know what they said? They said you won't be able to get rank 14 even at 60. Like in fact, they went on the record. They said, we don't want people being rank 14 until AQ 40. Remember that? So they don't want people with rank 14 Grand Marshal's gear going into Blackwing Lair. Okay, so they are really slowing this down. So it might be such that at level 40, we might only be able to be rank 5. Let me just think out loud. Okay, it's like rank 5, level 40, rank 7, level 50, rank 9. Man, I don't know. It might be 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. Totally could be. Or maybe 13, 14, because 12, 13 is the gear, and then 14 for the weapons they're saving for AQ40. That could be the case. Could be the case.
Which you can bet that Blizzard is preparing to give you some sort of useful rewards for. So download something like the add-on Ranker, which will tell you exactly how much honor you need to farm to hit the next rank up. And just note, there's literally no decay in Season of Discovery. All you need to do is farm up the ranks one time. Now, what are some of the things the super tryhards are gonna do? What is the max ways that you can prepare? And let's just dive through these really quickly. First of all, every 3 Warsong Gulch marks you turn in can give you 1200 experience. This means that tryhards will not only have the max of 20 in their inventory.
I heard, okay, not only are they having 20 in the inventory, this is a rumor I heard, is that people are industrially farming the marks, they are deleting them out of the mailbox, and then they are item recovering them back. So there will be people with like hundreds, I don't know, dozens of marks that they item recovered. That is something I think Blizzard will nerf. If people actually are doing that, maybe he's going to talk about that. Blizzard has to nerf that. They have to not allow
inventory. But for every Warsong Gulch win you have, when you have 20 already in your inventory, then those marks will be sent to your mailbox, and they will only last for 24 hours. So the tryhards will be doing a ton of pre-mades the day.
They will be doing 24 hours of pre-mating the day before Phase 2 launch. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Before the phase launches. Just prepare for this. This is going to be like a crazy amount of people stacking pre-mades in Warsong Gulch. You can do this yourself, but you will almost guaranteed go up against a pre-made every single match. On top of that, make sure you have fresh world buffs. Specifically, I'm talking about the Dark Moon Fair buff. Make sure to grab that before the launch of the next phase, but also the boon of the Black Fathom buff. 20% movement speed from this is going to be so incredibly useful for not only completing more quests, but also turning in your quest stack. But we also don't know if this buff will persist into the higher levels. So
dude, something that just occurred to me. This is going to be so funny. Okay, so in Phase 1, leveling from 1 to 25, like, there wasn't a whole lot of world PvP. In the 1 to 25 zones, not a lot of world PvP. 25 to 40? These zones are going to be an absolute shit show. The amount of world PvP of corpse camping, it's going to be a goddamn bloodfest. It's going to be a bloodfest. What's a sausage fest? What a bloodbath? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but okay, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild.
Don't bank on it 100%. Just know having increases in movement speed will significantly increase your experience gains. And on that note, if you're a tryhard, why don't you just have an incredibly high amount of movement speed potions? Swiftness pots have a ridiculously short cooldown, and they can be absolutely used to make sure that you're leveling up incredibly quickly in Phase 2. Having a ton of these stacked up in your inventory will just be so convenient and make...
This is actually probably a good piece of advice. I think it's pretty cheap to get these
any of your runs a lot easier, but if you're min-max...
Okay, so here, each one of these is 23 silver. Okay, they're actually, like, if you're chugging these things, it could be pretty expensive, actually.
You might even pop them every single time you land from a flight path or anything like that. And of course, these aren't the only consumables you're going to be wanting. If you are doing a dungeon cleave group, you will absolutely want to stack up on things like health potions, mana potions, and definitely get things for AoE like heavy dynamite. Dynamite and target dummies can be used by the entire group when you pull the entire instance of something like RFK or Scarlet Monastery or Stockades and blow it all up instantly to be able to leave and reset the dungeon and enter again to just level up at ridiculous rates. Of course, if you're doing this, you probably know which dungeons you will be doing to level up. Alliance can use Stockades early on and then move into RFK or Scarlet Monastery. And if you're Horde, you probably turn in your quest stack and then instantly head over to RFK. Or if you have some crazy summon...
Dude, something has got to be done about these mages. They are out of control. And you guys have seen the clips. You know what they're doing. They're pulling like 100 monsters and just sitting there, and they're face tanking them as they, it's ridiculous, bro.
I guess you could do stockades, but you can
Shut it
instantly go
down.
to RFK
You gotta
or
shut it
Scarlet
down.
Monastery right away. And with that,
Shut it
I think
down.
that's literally everything you could focus on to prepare right now for phase 2. You can get all of these things accomplished in the next few weeks outside of stacking up those Warsong Gulch marks in your mailbox. And like I mentioned, I am working on an in-depth video for both Horde and Alliance for adding their quest stacks. And those will probably release early on the YouTube channel members, but outside of that, they will be released with ample time for everybody to get full quest stacks on all of their characters to be ready to get.
Dude, I just don't care about the quest stacks. Some other things here, like I'm definitely gonna do. I'm gonna get all my flight paths. I'll probably stack some swiftness potions. I'm already rank 3. Some stuff I've already done. I do want to try to get exalted. I'll chrono boon the buffs. Some stuff I'm gonna do right. But man, this, like, the quest stacking, I just don't care. I'll say it again. I actually know people that have re-leveled a new character for the sole purpose of 25 to 40 speed leveling. Okay? They say, oh man, I accidentally did 2 quests I shouldn't have done, and now I need to make a new character so I can have those quests on my new character to shave off 17 minutes from my... It's like, oh, dude. I don't care. I don't care.
At least 2 to 3 levels right as phase 2 launches. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Sarthe, and of course, make sure to like and subscribe, or let me know in the comments if I missed anything, like there's any other thing you can do to prepare. But I will try to keep you all up to date on.
That's a good video. This was a really in-depth prep video. I highly recommend this video. Another pro tip: Go and round up the vendor-specific recipes now so you can either make it convenient for you to level your professions or sell them on the auction house. True. And there's a lot of things like frost oil, stuff like that. You'll be able to get a nifty stopwatch in the 40 meta from the Badlands. Yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of stuff like that. Other profession patterns, no doubt. This was a great video. All right, cool. Awesome. And drop a like, comment, subscribe on this one also. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. And as always, stay safe.